So I recently started putting up my webcomic that I've been doing for a few years. So I've got like 200 pages, and in San Diego this last year, this 2 months ago, a month ago. Wow, it's only been a month. Wow. Anyway, I was hearing people talk about webtoons, and it's the first time I'd heard about it. So um, finally, someone on Facebook had mentioned that it would be a good place to build up an audience and whatnot. So I went here, and a couple of things I heard about before coming here were that you need to, the format of the comics are a little different than traditional American comics, and because they're made for scrolling and stuff. And I just jumped in and started putting stuff up here. So this is what, first of all, Webtoons is free. Anybody can upload a webcomic to it, but the thing I've figured out is there's a huge webcomic audience here. I mean, look at, so these are obviously some of the top ones, but they've got like three. There's a 1 point, I can't, but this one right here, this God of High School, 1.4 million likes, hundreds of thousands of likes, and then of course there's obviously there on down, but it's broken up into different categories like fantasy, slice of life, and then it's broken down to when they update. Um, Genres. Let's check out the genres here. So the genres are fantasy, comedy, action, slice of life, romance. And so we got these here. Um, you can sort them by popularity and whatever. So I signed up for the site by you can log in on Facebook, Twitter, use those accounts to log in, or you can sign up for an account. I signed up with Twitter, and I think it limited some of my options. Because one of the things I found, so if I click on this, I see this one all the time. It must be one of their top ones. Anyway, so this got you the little information. Okay, this is okay. And you can link. Okay, here's the other thing. You can link your Patreon to it, which is really good. So if people want to, support you, throw some money your way, that's an option. But I'm trying to find one of the ones where I'm trying. I haven't clicked on these. I don't know. There's another one. Was this just okay? So about the creator. Um, There's a Twitter account. That's Instagram, but I don't know which version or which login. I'm assuming it's if you make an actual account, then you have more control. I can't change it now. So when you go to mine, I'll go to my dashboard here, and I've got my webcomic. All right, so here's what my webcomic looks like. So I've been up since a week today. I've gotten 284 subscribers, 7.2 thousand page views overall, and a rating of 9.96, which is pretty good. It's the fastest audience I've built up online with a webcomic since doing webcomics, and it's because there's an audience already built into this site that have kind of congregated around this, and they like, the thing about it too is it's an app, and so when you update, they get notified that they've got an update. So you make a little thumbnail for it, and it's like over here, if I hit, this is, I don't get the little eye, I get the little search thing, and it just tells what else I've worked on. So, I started posting. I'll show you my first post here. So my first post, I was doing it like a traditional webcomic, like I had been, updating webcomics, which is one page an update. So I had this page done. Some people were like, hey, love this already, stuff. So that's the other thing. From the get-go, lots of interaction with people. People leave comments. It's a very interactive kind of community. But by the time I got to go back a page, around here, let me see if this was about this time. People start talking about wanting longer updates. So I started going through and let's go back to the thing here. So if I could show you, let's see. I'm trying to get one that's, click on one that isn't going to be like, I don't know if that family friendly or whatever. So anyway, let's just check this one. So I think I've looked at this one before. This is kind of how most of them are set up, right? So you've got, you're scrolling down. So this is really iPhone, tablet friendly. It's a long update. Some of the other, where's some of the others? See this one. I haven't looked at this one, so I make no promises. Don't want to have my sound on for this. I don't know what this is. Okay, so it's a very, like, panels right here, lots of space. So the format of the website and the delivery system has shaped how the comic is actually made. So if you're drawing a comic specifically for webtoons, that's probably how you want to do it, because that's just what people are used to. And if you notice, a lot of the style is a lot of manga, slice of life, indie stuff. There's not, I mean, some of the art, I mean, every time I try to click on something to show you, it highlights it. But some of the art's really, really good. Some of it's, not as great. I mean, more, I don't say not as great. Not as, well, I have seen some things that are really not great, but some of them are a little less refined, we'll say. But a lot of the slice of life stuff is way cartoony, which isn't bad. But anyway, so that's kind of what you're dealing with as far as the format and stuff. So I'm gonna go back to my thing. So I'm I don't know if that's, it doesn't seem to be a handicap for me to have been doing it this way. So around this chapter, I just strung together, if it'll load, there we go, I made a larger update. And people really seemed to like that. They liked, everybody said they liked larger updates. So one of the things that I kind of had to deprogram myself from when I started doing this as a traditional, like if you've been using like I have WordPress, and you have the comicspress plugin, you upload an image, like you set your featured image, and so it's basically 1 page per update. So I had been doing that for so long that got so ingrained to me, and I'll go through adding an episode here, that I didn't even think about, it didn't even occur to me you could like update, that Webtoons would let you put more than 1 page in an update. So we'll go up here to, excuse me, add an episode. All right, so this is kind of what it looks like. You have a thumbnail that's 160 by 151. And I'll go ahead and I made one. I got a little thing here. Just try to get a good thing. So every update's called an episode. A chapter or a page is episode. And then you select file to upload. I think what also kind of made me subconsciously not realize you can update more than 1 page is that it says select file to upload, and the image must be 800 by 1280. I didn't read down here where it said each file, which should have tipped me off, but I'm so used to just saying, oh, the image, your update, is the way my brain kind of translated it, has to be this big. No, each file can only be this big. So I'm going to do an update here, and I'll go into wait the last, because my file system makes no sense. All right, where was the last one I did? The last one I did was this one. I ended there. All right, so click that. It is super easy to actually upload things here. All right, so there's your first, that'll be your first page. You get 20 megabytes. So you get your next page, and it'll automatically put it as the next page. So what I found here, though, with this particular site, because this page is the end of the first chapter as I've planned out the story. So it's a good beat to end on. But because this particular site, the form of the site dictates the beats that you put up that people like, I'm going to have to dig into chapter 2 here. So let's see. And I actually have not planned this out. I'm just going to, I've been trying to do 3 pages an update. This one's going to be a little bit longer because I need to get to a beat. And this might be a good beat right here. I think page 3 switched back to, oh, that was it. This is going to be a big update. So everybody in Webtoons will like this one. Yeah, page 6, 5, 4. Yeah, okay, that's perfect. All right. So this is a bigger update. But people who have this app on their phone, they want a large update because, hey, they want to read it for a while. Not too long, but doesn't want to be too short. Somebody described it on here, left a comment that a page day was like getting a sentence of a novel. And the interesting thing too is when I did a webcomic traditionally, I've had a lot of people say, I wait until I know there's a lot of pages up to read because I don't like the drip, 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 even though it's a story I really, really like. I want to read, I want to get a huge shot of the story and then wait for the next big shot of the story because the drip kills people. So Webtoons has kind of, the format kind of addresses that. So I'm doing updates every day, but I've got almost 200 pages ready to go. I'm going to catch up pretty quick. Well, pretty quick. It's probably going to be depending on how the beats work out, because I wanted things to end and make sense. And I'm still like learning this. So the reason I'm doing this video is maybe to help someone who does not understand, like me, how subtly different it is and how the audience expects to be delivered a story per update. But when I catch up, it'll probably go to once a week. That way I'll have 3 or 4 or 5 pages an update. So anyway, so everything's here. I've got a good get your update. I'm only 20 megabytes. The other person said have your sound up. What JPEG? How did that work? Anyway, still learning. You get a preview. This is how it looks. It just, yep, organizes it straight down the line. Boom. And you got 400 characters to talk about. Let's see. Here's a bigger update for you all. Enjoy. Okay, something simple. That's pretty much it. Then you hit publish episode. Oh, title. Oh, right. You gotta have a title. Just a line from in there. Now publish episode. You'll be shown to other users. Yes, that's it. That is what we want. And then boom. So now you go up here, and there's the episode. So it's got all the thumbnails. Let's see if we can go into my dashboard and look at some of the basically the stats here. 300 average page views for update, with it being up a week. That's pretty good. 4,000 page views in the last week. 284 subscribers. A week ago, I wasn't even on the site. So yeah, there's an audience here that wants to read stuff. Now, whether that translates into them actually, following your other stuff, or I've always wondered, if you just want to get the story out there and build up an audience, which is kind of where I am with William Last right now. I'm really trying to build up the audience so that in other venues, when they see images and see the title, that brand will be recognizable. Like, oh, I know this. So that's what I'm trying to do right now. Whether or not this translates into Patreon, because I don't know. They've got WebToons has this thing with Patreon where if you meet these requirements, they'll contribute something. 50, but it's $500 at the most. You can get up to $1,000, whatever. I don't know if this is still going on, because it said it was running from June or May of last year until July of this year, but it's still up here. I don't know. I don't understand. Anyway, so that's pretty much how WebToons works. See, it's called webtoons.com, but over here it says Webtoon. I just noticed that because I say WebToons, and I was like, am I saying it wrong? No, I'm okay, whatever. So that's kind of where it is. And then when you click the update, it gives you this pretty good. I had to bump up these words. It's been bugging me for a long time. It's been sitting up with small words there. So, all right. I hope that helps. So far, it seems like a really good place to build up and interact with an audience. And I really don't see a downside to it. I mean, it's not like they're taking any rights or anything, and there's people there that want comics, and if it's good, just make sure you got a good thumbnail. How to discover things, I think they curate the discover or featured things. People have been telling me, because I asked how they found it. I know this is a really strong image. I mean, I've got a print of it. People seem to like it even though they don't know what it's from. Get a strong thumbnail, because I've had people say I was searching for something else, and the art brought me in, and the story was good. So get a good thumbnail and tell a good story. You should and make long updates, and you shouldn't have a problem building up an audience. So anyway, I'll keep you all updated on how it goes. It's an experiment, like everything in my entire life. It's an experiment. All right, so that'll do it for now. Hope this helps.